What's up, everyone? This is Brian Smith bringing you another episode of recruiting information. Rivals just recently released their top 250 for the class of 25, and I happen to be a recruiting junkie that really likes to get into the underclassmen. I've watched a lot of these kids the last couple of years, 15U, 7-on-7, camps, combines, high schools, and I've also seen some of them online with their huddle film, etc., YouTube. And I kind of want to talk about a few of the kids that are in this list. I've seen most of the guys in the top 15, either live or on film, and some of them I even know pretty well. I'm going to share my screen here in a second, but the main purpose of this is to talk about the blunt point. You can only see so many kids, and this is 250. I've probably seen 100 of them in some capacity, and a lot of the guys from Rivals.com probably have too. This is a beginning baseline list. That's all that it really means. Don't take it out on Rivals if you think a kid should be ranked higher, lower, whatever. It's just part of the process. You got to have a baseline, and then you see more kids, see more film, talk to coaches, and then you move forward. So with that in mind, bear with me while I present here. I'm trying to learn more about some of these kids, but it's not easy when you really look at all the different things that go into rankings. I'm going to start up here at the top. They've got, this is the same kind of group that I would have. They have Elijah Griffin, number 1. And I really don't have a problem with that. He is about as freaky as it can possibly get. It's just amazing. Griffin is 6'3", 290, give or take. 6'4" is kind of what I thought. But then you look at like what he can do, and it's ridiculous. He plays strong side end. He plays some weak side end. He'll play down in a 3-tech. They move him around. But more importantly, this is a kid that was only a sophomore in high school. Keep that in mind. Griffin was able to use his hands like a veteran. Not just somebody that bull rushes everybody, etc. Griffin went out and dominated with his hands as much as with his speed and his God-given ability. That's why a lot of people have him in the top 3 or 4, and Rivals has him number 1. I've seen Sanders live. He's out of Charlotte. Great kid. And if you want a left tackle prospect, he's your guy. He is the prototypical 6'5", 6'6" kid that can really move, can really run. I would not be surprised if he ends up being one of the top 3 players in the class. And right now, Rivals has him number 2. No problem with that at all. And then there's several other kids that are kind of in that group, but the one that I probably like the best that nobody really talks about all that much, and maybe it's just because of location, is Williams from down in the Mobile area. Ryan Williams is absolutely electric. And to put into perspective just how talented he is, here he is on the screen. He plays at Saraland, which is a suburb of Mobile. They won state this past year. He won Mr. Football in Alabama, a very good high school state for football, as a sophomore. That just doesn't happen. Now, he's committed to Alabama already, but I'm sure everybody and their brother is still going to recruit him. He's got offers from schools up north, out west. It doesn't matter. I mean, from Miami to Washington, he'll end up having about every offer there is if he doesn't already. That's the kid I think it's the most electric in the country. If you look up just a little higher, and this is depending, again, on which ranking system you go with, some people have Bryce Underwood number 1. He's a quarterback just outside of Detroit. I've seen him throw a couple times. They list him as 6'3" here. There's no way. He's taller than that. He's at least 6'4", and he has a cannon. He is freaky deaky when it comes to his athleticism, and he's a young man that kind of understands the deal. He knows he's good, but he still goes out and works his craft. He's not arrogant. He just does his thing when he's out 7-on-7. I really like him. I haven't seen Sanchez yet, but he plays at North Shore. That tells me something right off the bat. North Shore always seems to have somebody. Looking down through the list, Winston Watkins is a kid I've seen since 8th grade. He's as good a slot as you'll find in the 25 class. Very athletic. Jordan Davison, he's a kid from Mater Dei, tremendous running back, arguably as good a program as there is in the country. DJ Pickett from this list is the most gifted kid in terms of all around. When he was in 8th grade, I've told several people this, I would have taken him then. He was about 6'1.5" in 8th grade. He is absolutely a game changer in how he can attack the football and his speed. The only question with him is which sport is best. Is it track? Is it baseball? Is it football? He's in the 10.7s, I believe, in track already, and he's a long kid. So, I mean, he can make up a lot of ground. Truly, truly special athlete. He could also be a center fielder in baseball, whatever he wanted to do. But football is probably going to be his choice. I wouldn't be surprised if he ran a little track at the college level, too. Corey Moore is a kid that can fly. Duncanville doesn't need any introduction. I've seen his film several times. Great player. A couple other kids that I want to talk about, and this just kind of puts it in perspective of how deep the 25 class is, too. Armando Blunt. He was at Dillard. He is transferred to Central down in South Florida. He's an edge guy. He could end up being the top player in the country. He has all the physical tools. He is as raw and powerful as you can get. He's a lot like Elijah in that sense, a little smaller frame than Elijah, but man, can he come off the edge, and he is very physical. That's the kind of kid that South Florida is famous for. I would vouch for him any day of the week if somebody wanted to put him in their top 5. And then another kid that I really, really like that probably isn't going to get talked about very much from this group, and he's ranked, I think, like 280 or something by Rod. What it just kind of shows what there is in terms of the depth of this class. There's a kid that I know from just outside of Lafayette, Louisiana, in a town called Opelousas, and his name is DeSean Ford. He's a really good football player, several offers already, but if he was located like where I live in Central Florida, where more coaches come through, he'd probably have 20, 25 offers already. He's got several, but he is a freak. He reminds me of Julius Jones. It was from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, played at Notre Dame, and then for the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. When he fills out the shirt, I mean, he fills out the shirt. And this was when he was a freshman in high school that I met him. Real powerful kid. I'm going to share my screen and show a little bit of DeSean. But again, this class is deep. And I think he's a little underrated now with rivals. Again, nothing against rivals. A lot of people haven't seen him live. I have. It's different once you get to that point. But Ford is a kid that has the ability to be a power back. He has speed, he has size, and he can just flat out lay it on the line on any given play and run over a guy. Big time talent. I'm not sure many people know about him yet, but they very soon will. Watch him hit the hole and watch him take off. This is just an example of how deep the 25 class is. Stiff arm, that kid gets thrown to the ground and he's gone. Kid has an angle, it doesn't make any difference. That was kind of the theme from the time he was a freshman in high school on. Everybody kind of knows in the Lafayette, Louisiana area who this kid is, and he's going to get as many offers as he wants. Power, dragging guys through the goal line. If he's number 280, which he's not, that puts it in perspective of just how good this class is, and it just puts it into perspective of what we have to look forward to over the next 2 seasons. Because DeSean, like the rest of these kids, they're just going to be kids that are in the junior year. So we have a great group of kids to watch for 2025, and I'm really excited about it. And it's just kind of getting going. But everybody that has a chance to see any of these kids I talked about, or anybody that's in the Rivals 250, check them out this year, man. It's a lot of fun. Also, please like this podcast, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share this podcast, and most importantly for me, please comment on it, talk about any of the kids that you know about, somebody that, and don't just promote your kid. Don't be that guy. Promote kids that are deserving. We know who they are. We watch the film, but please promote the players that you know about or say something about them. I'm more than happy to talk about a kid who may not be in the 250. DeSean wasn't, but he's an elite player. So please do your best to give some thoughts on any of these kids. And if you've seen them, share your take. This is why I think so-and-so is better than somebody. This is why I like this kid better than Elijah Griffin, whatever it may be. So anyway, everybody have a great day. Thank you very much.